The shocking decision from Zak Brown not to enforce team orders set the paddock alight, and it could not have come at a more dramatic point in the season. With Max Verstappen storming back into the championship picture after back-to-back wins, and McLaren's once commanding position suddenly under real threat, many assumed Brown would draw a line in the sand and back Oscar Piastri, the man leading the standings. Instead, he has doubled down on equality, insisting that both Piastri and Lando Norris will continue to fight freely, side by side, even as the pressure mounts and the stakes grow higher. It's a call that has stunned fans, analysts, and even the drivers themselves, because in a season this finely balanced, one wrong move could cost McLaren everything. For Piastri, this decision is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it signals trust from his boss, that he can carry the burden of leading the championship without special treatment, proof that his rookie reputation has matured into something more. On the other hand, it leaves him vulnerable, forced to defend not only against Verstappen, but against his own teammate, with no guarantees of protection when strategy calls or on-track battles hang in the balance. After the nightmare of Baku, where he crashed out and handed points away, many expected McLaren to shield him to ensure his title challenge did not unravel. Instead, Brown's stance has left him exposed, turning every race into a brutal test of nerve and composure. For Norris, the shock is just as profound. He has waited years for a car worthy of fighting for a championship, endured McLaren's wilderness seasons, and built himself into the face of the papaya brand. Yet now, with his rookie teammate holding the points advantage and the promise of equal treatment, it's both a lifeline and a crushing weight. It means he still has a chance to fight for the crown, but it also means he cannot rely on the team to hand him the edge. If he wants to prove himself as McLaren's #1, he must do it the hard way, beating Piastri outright, while keeping Verstappen at bay. And looming over both men is the spectre of Verstappen. Red Bull's resurgence has transformed him from a fading champion into a genuine threat once again. Even Andrea Stella has admitted the Dutchman is definitely in contention. That means McLaren cannot afford even the smallest misstep. Yet Brown has chosen the riskier path of letting his drivers fight without restriction. The paddock knows how dangerous that can be. 2007 with Hamilton and Alonso remains a cautionary tale. But Brown believes in his philosophy, and that belief could define McLaren's entire season. The echoes of this decision will be felt in Singapore, where the punishing Marina Bay circuit will test every ounce of stamina, focus, and teamwork McLaren can muster. Whether this commitment to fairness becomes the masterstroke that delivers both harmony and glory, or the gamble that lets Verstappen snatch the crown, will soon be revealed. Zak Brown's refusal to enforce team orders has created one of the most fascinating dynamics Formula One has seen in years. Instead of choosing the safe and calculated route of backing Oscar Piastri, who currently leads the championship, Brown has made the bold call to let both his drivers fight it out on equal terms. In the eyes of many, this is a gamble that could make or break McLaren's season. Max Verstappen is roaring back into contention after two emphatic victories in Monza and Baku. The margin for error has shrunk dramatically. And yet, Brown has insisted that McLaren's so-called papaya rules remain in force, a philosophy of equality that now hangs over every decision the team makes. For Piastri, the situation is deeply complex. He holds the points lead. He has proven himself with wins and consistency, but the ghosts of Baku still linger. His mistakes there, the crash in qualifying, the false start, the race-ending slide into the barriers, were reminders that even the most composed young driver is not immune to pressure. Gunther Steiner was quick to jump on those errors, arguing publicly that McLaren should take decisive action and put their full weight behind Piastri before Verstappen closes the gap. But Brown has resisted that pressure, leaving Piastri to fight not only a four-time champion in Verstappen, but also his own teammate. To many, it feels like asking the Australian to walk a tightrope without a safety net. Others echo Steiner's warning, calling it naive at best and reckless at worst. They argue that the title is too precious, that McLaren cannot afford to let Verstappen profit from internal squabbles, and that every lap Norris and Piastri spend battling each other risks handing Red Bull the opening they need. The fallout from Monza continues to fuel this debate. While Piastri faltered in Baku, Norris had his chance to capitalise in Italy, but failed to convert it into a commanding result. Those missed opportunities now look enormous in hindsight, especially as Verstappen surges back to victory. For critics, it is further proof that McLaren must act decisively and throw their support behind Piastri, who, despite his errors, still sits ahead in the standing. Anything less, they argue, is a betrayal of their best shot at ending a 17-year drought for a driver's crown. Inside the garage, the atmosphere is tense. Piastri has fired back with confidence, delivering a bombshell statement that he is ready for everything the title fight will bring. He has reminded everyone of his championship pedigree in Formula 2 and Formula 3, where he thrived under pressure, and has made it clear he will not crack again. Norris, meanwhile, faces the challenge of proving that his loyalty and consistency over the years can translate into a ruthless title push. The two men are not just racing for themselves anymore. They are racing to prove who deserves to be McLaren's true standard-bearer in this new era of billion-dollar backers and global scrutiny. The Singapore Grand Prix is the perfect crucible for this rivalry. The track is unforgiving, the conditions brutal, and the race itself a mental and physical marathon. One slip could end a driver's night instantly. With Verstappen lurking, the stakes could not be higher. McLaren are just 13 points away from sealing the Constructors' Championship, but that milestone almost feels secondary compared to the drivers' fight. For fans, the intrigue is irresistible. Will McLaren's commitment to equality be their greatest strength or their undoing? Steiner's words continue to echo in the background. He argued that if he were running the team, he would impose team orders immediately, choosing Piastri as the driver to back, and sending a message to Verstappen that McLaren would not allow internal politics to get in the way of their goal. His blunt assessment has found traction with many fans who see Piastri's lead as reason enough to prioritise him. They argue that if McLaren lose the title because they refuse to pick a side, it will go down as one of the great strategic blunders in modern Formula One. But Brown insists the sport is bigger than just numbers. His philosophy is rooted in the idea that letting his drivers race not only strengthens the brand, but also honours the essence of Formula One. In his view, the championship should not be decided by boardroom orders, but by raw speed and